name. And you know what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I told you can't trust me. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's a sucker, man. Puff said he's gonna walk up on 50 Cent and punch him in the face.
Yeah, he said, I'm just gonna punch him in the face.
Tell Curtis I ain't done yet. This message was sent to 50 Cent just hours after Diddy beat his RICO case. And insiders say it didn't come from one of his lawyers. It came from Diddy himself. As you probably heard by now, Diddy was found not guilty on the biggest charge that would have gotten him life. And 50 went viral just hours after the verdict when this screenshot popped up online showing that someone sent him a threatening message from a burner account. So, we all know 50 has been on Diddy's case for years, trolling him on social media with posts like this one where 50 said, "You know there ain't no seat on that bike, right?" And when he wasn't being messy on Instagram, 50 was dragging Diddy in interviews and calling him fluffy.
Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my stuff.
But this is different. See, the real reason why Diddy is now threatening 50 from a fake account is because of that documentary 50 is producing. Did he do it? And here's why. The documentary is still very much in the works despite the verdict. And 50 actually promised he will expose way more than what we heard in the trial. But what is 50 sitting on? And is that why Diddy just threatened him? Well, if you followed the trial closely, you know a lot of sketchy things happened. Like when the government suddenly replaced the original prosecutor with Warren Comey, the same person who allegedly helped cover up the Epstein case. And then there's Diddy's right-hand woman, Christina Kororm. She was named by multiple witnesses as a co-conspirator. But the feds completely ignored this, and no one knows where Christina disappeared. And there's even more disturbing stuff the mainstream media buried. But now 50 Cent is promising to expose all that and more. But with Diddy possibly walking free, you know he's desperate to keep it that way. That warning he sent 50 is a clear message that he'll go to any lengths to protect himself. And there's no telling what Diddy could do once he's out. He could target 50's business deals, alliances, or maybe do something even worse. Because we already heard from one witness, Capricorn Clark, that Diddy planned to take out 50.
We started off this morning with Capricorn Clark. She's a former Diddy assistant, former marketing manager for Sean John. Oh, she talked about 50 Cent. So I don't know what year this was, but she said that Diddy was doing a press event with 50 Cent at MTV, and they actually shared the same manager at this point, and his name was Chris Lighty. And she said that Chris Lighty and herself and Diddy got into an elevator, and Diddy was having a problem with 50 Cent, and he said something like, you know, I don't like the back and forth, I like guns.
All right, let's get into that threatening message. Because this wasn't just a stay in your lane type thread. The burner account that sent, "Tell Curtis I ain't done yet," had been quiet for months. And then suddenly, hours after the verdict dropped, it was active again with that one line. Now here's where it gets dark. Sources close to 50 say this wasn't the first time he was threatened. In fact, 50 himself reacted publicly after he heard that Diddy planned to take him out. Back in May, Diddy's former assistant, Capricorn Clark, testified that one time when she went with Diddy to MTV for a press thing, she overheard him telling a security guard he didn't like nonsense and people, but did like guns. And according to Capricorn, Diddy was referencing his feud with 50 Cent, was also there that day. Capricorn said Mr. Comey told Chris Lighty he had a gun. He had a problem with 50 Cent. So how did 50 react to this? Well, 50 being 50, he turned this into a joke and posted an AI photo of himself looking scared with the caption, "Oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me dead. I have to lay low. I think I'm going to hide out at the playoff game tonight. LOL." But here's the thing. This happened back in May when we all still thought that Diddy would get life in prison. But fast forward to now, and the jury found Diddy not guilty on 3 out of 5 charges, and he managed to beat the most serious charge, RICO conspiracy. As reported by NBC News, Diddy was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation for tuition of Cassie and another woman known as Jane. So what does this mean exactly in terms of a possible prison sentence? Could Diddy actually walk free? And is that why he feels bold enough to threaten 50 Cent? Well, Diddy and his team were confident that Diddy would go home the day the verdict was reached. However, Diddy was denied bail, and according to News Nation, Judge Aaron Subramanian ruled that Diddy is too dangerous to be let out. Diddy's sentencing for the 2 guilty verdicts is scheduled for October 3rd, and until then, he will remain in jail. In terms of possible prison time, People magazine reports that the 2 counts Diddy was convicted of face a maximum of 20 years, 10 years for each. Now, once Diddy is sentenced, it's highly his lawyers will file an appeal of both his conviction and his sentence. So we'll have to wait and see how much time, if any, he actually ends up serving. But back to 50 Cent. The scariest part is Diddy's not even sentenced yet. But he's already threatening revenge. Like, he knows he's walking free. But wait, why is 50 the top of Diddy's revenge list? Sure, 50 has been trolling and mocking Diddy relentlessly ever since Cassie dropped her lawsuit almost 2 years ago. But see, 50 was doing that even before this whole thing blew up. 50 and Diddy have been feuding since the early 2000s. And 50 was the first to publicly question Diddy's sexuality, and it goes way back. 50 didn't just troll Diddy online. He exposed what might have started the whole beef. This was 50 Cent 8 years ago on The Breakfast Club explaining why he started trolling Diddy.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said.
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why I get uncomfortable. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
But you've been getting out for over a decade. I remember when you said the top feels so much better than the bottom.
Yeah, I've been saying this. Everybody see. Don't make like it's just me, man. Puffy do some like a little fluffy stuff.
Now you guys are all in some hip hop beef, okay?
These jokes are the reason Diddy wanted to do something to 50. He could have done it years ago, but this time the stakes are higher. And it all ties back to 50 Cent's upcoming documentary. Did he do it? Why? Because it was just revealed that 50 is changing gears with his doc, and now he wants to dig even deeper into people behind Diddy. 50 told Variety that his docuseries will be a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or clips seen so far. Now, Diddy Do It was originally framed as an expose of Diddy's wild behavior, especially the freak-off parties with other celebs. But now that Diddy beat the RICO charge, the project is taking a darker and more dangerous turn. In fact, just recently, a clip leaked that's supposedly from 50's documentary showing what looks like some kind of eyes-wide-shut party at Diddy's mansion. Masks, deer antlers, ritual vibes, the whole nine. This will be exposed. I mean, when?
In fact, just recently, a clip leaked that's supposedly from 50's documentary, showing what looks like some kind of eyes-wide-shut party at Diddy's mansion. Masks, deer antlers, ritual vibes, the whole nine.
This will be exposed. I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sex. Little things that I personally like. A lot of ladies, they just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors. P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
And if that footage is legit, 50's documentary is about to expose a much darker side of this story that most people have no idea about. But it gets even more sinister. According to sources close to the production, 50 decided to dig deeply into the parts of the story that were ignored during the trial. And he wants to address the elephant in the room, meaning those claims that Diddy was working as a government asset and that the entire trial was staged as a distraction. Remember years ago when Kanye called Diddy a Fed? Well, it looks like found something that could confirm this theory.
Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard niggas. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my coat.
But how exactly is he planning to prove that Diddy might have been a Fed asset? Well, first off, he wants one part of his docuseries to be about Christina Coram, Diddy's mysterious associate and alleged madam, who is allegedly to Diddy what Ghislaine Maxwell was to Jeffrey Epstein. Last year, when Diddy was arrested, the mainstream media claimed that Christina Coram could hold the key to the prosecution because she was Diddy's right-hand woman for years.
A woman at the center of Sean's orbit and business empire could potentially hold the key to the prosecution. She is Christina Coram, seen here with Diddy in Florida in November after he settled his case with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Diddy posted this photo of her to Facebook saying, "Christina, aka KK, keeps everything in my life and my business running. She's my right hand." In a separate lawsuit against Combs, music producer Rodney Jones used this same photo, calling Coram the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. She was referenced 64 times in that suit.
But fast forward to the trial and Christina's name barely came up. Now, Cassie did mention Christina during her testimony and claimed that Christina kept tabs on her for Diddy. Cassie testified that she talked to Christina almost every day about everything from scheduling to discussing what kind of mood Diddy was in and how to handle him that day. I talked to KK about a lot. Cassie said she knew a lot about my personal things. And another victim known only as Jane showed a text message she received from Christina where Christina encouraged Jane to get on a commercial flight with illegal substances and told her, "It's fine. I do it all the time." So the question is, why wasn't Christina called as a witness? According to CNN, Diddy's prosecutors initially referred to Christina as one of Diddy's co-conspirators. But then they completely stopped mentioning her, which is extremely sketchy because if she was really Diddy's co-conspirator, calling her to testify would have helped the prosecutors prove the racketeering element. None of this makes any sense. And this is exactly why 50 Cent wants to shine a light on Christina. And fans are already speculating that Christina is the main reason why the prosecutors blew the case. While some are even alleging that the whole trial was a cover-up to protect bigger fish. One user on X said, "People think that the Diddy saga is over, but it is not. This was the deep state. Involvement to do a cover-up. There will be more to this. Ask yourself why Christina Coram KK wasn't put on the stand to testify because a certain Comey was involved. There will be more to this. Now, who is this Comey person and what's their role in all this?" So this user is referring to Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor in the case, who joined the prosecution team after Damon Williams announced his resignation on November 25, 2024, just weeks after Diddy's arrest. And the timing of it all was very suspicious. Damon Williams was overseeing the Diddy case from the start. So why did he pull out just before Diddy's trial? As for Maureen, she's the same Comey name tied to the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell trial. So now the rumors are going around that elements of the U.S. government may have knowingly turned a blind eye or even facilitated parts of Diddy's blackmail operation because Diddy's blackmail archive allegedly includes footage and info on high-profile officials, media mogul, and corporate executives. Remember, the feds claim they confiscated a whole bunch of tapes from Diddy's mansions during the raids. And yet they still haven't released any info on who exactly was on those tapes. So if this is true, it means this whole thing is much bigger than Diddy. It's starting to look like Diddy was just a middleman, the same way Jeffrey Epstein was. People are now speculating that Diddy was a protected intelligence asset running a covert operation on behalf of a much more powerful group. In fact, former U.S. Attorney Brett Tallman recently said that Diddy and Epstein ran nearly identical blackmail operations,